Good day and welcome to an action-packed sport rap show. I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, unleashing the weekend highlights and more. In today's show, viewers can expect rugby highlights as well as news about Helalia Johannes' latest success in South Africa. Sit back and enjoy 45 minutes of pure entertainment. And now for your latest on the hit list. Futsal Namibia has grown from strength to strength from the past 3 years and has become a home to about 650 players. The organization expects this number to increase to about 800 players by the summer season. This has prompted one of the founders, Andre Tiritirao, to believe and dream that the country can form a national team in the near future. Speaking at the just-ended Express Credit Winter League, Tiritirao lauded all the players and staff who were involved during the Winter League. He also, however, acknowledged that it will take time before the dream of having a national team is realized. Trials and getting more sponsorships on board, including support from the Namibia Football Association body, are among the things he believes will speed up the process of building a national team. Swakop Moon Club won the men's first division after finishing with a better goal difference ahead of X-Men. Orange Babies won the Under-17 league, while Athletic Club won the Under-17 boys category. Ramblers won the girls' first division, whilst Walfers won the first division. Futsal Namibia will host another 3-day cup towards the end of July before the summer league commences. Here are some of the highlights and interviews Sport Rap has in store for you from the weekend. Yes, how are you, Andre? It is indeed a fantastic day here with the Futsal Namibia league coming to an end. It has been an incredible journey for you guys. How have you been feeling about this, and what would your first reactions be?
You know, it's been a day of a lot of really good games, a lot of very good futsal skills, a lot of teams, a lot of fans. So the atmosphere today in the hall was fantastic.
Okay, take us through the tournament. Throughout the winners, perhaps you remember some of them?
Yes. So if we look at the Winter League, which is ending now today, in preparation for the next one, which is a Summer League that's starting end of August. Today the Under-17 girls have it's Bay Babies that have won, Orange Babies. In the Under-17 male division was the AC Athletic Club Football Association. ACFA have won their division. In the girls' first division, Ramblers for the first time have taken it. For the past 2-3 years has been a bit of an upset because Commerce Nampel has been beating them, but Ramblers have come back and they've done very well to win their division. Right now we're playing the playoffs for the first division, so we don't really know what's happening there, but in the Premier League, SFC, Stockholm Football Club, have taken the lead with the same points as X-Men, which is the local team from Windhoek, but unfortunately X-Men had less goals scored, so the goal difference made, it was a very small goal difference.
So Stockholm FC took that one. They took the Premier League.
Yes, the Premier League is taken by SFC.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, speaking of this tournament and Futsal Namibia itself, how happy are you with the response in terms of the interest?
So in general, it's been tremendous. We are running another a 3-day cup that's coming up at the end of July. We filled that up in about 2 days. So there's a lot of interest, a lot of teams that want to participate in the new league that's starting again. We'll now have more teams because the top 4 seeding from the 2 groups of the first division are making it to the Premier League. So we'll have 16 teams in the Premier League. We'll have 32 teams in the first division, and hopefully we'll grow the girls, the boys, and so on. So we really start to look good from next year.
Yes, I'm seeing so far is Express Credit banners, which are the sponsors. Yes. Well, it looks great out here. The fans are here. Everyone looks excited. What could this make for other sponsors to come on board?
Look, Express Credit has been one of our biggest supporters, or the biggest supporters, since we started this initiative. They've helped us grow the sport. They've helped us become better, be able to afford some prizes, be able to really get the referees up to par, and you know, we're really encouraging everybody. We are a sport right now, about 650 players just in our league. We're aiming to about 800 in the upcoming ones, and we welcome sponsors to come on board. We give a lot of visibility.
Are we looking forward to any national competitions that would actually be beneficial to some of those players?
Of course, our main goal from when we started is to go national, to be able to have a league in every region, and also just run the playoffs here in Windhoek. I think we have the right facilities. We can run a full tournament here on 3 courts running concurrently, and we'd really like to start a national team, hopefully in the next 2-3 years, to put Namibia on an international level.
On an international level, yes, it will be great, because if you look, futsal in other countries is a very, very big competition. I'm sure it is all about the Namibia Football Association as well,
yes,
to see these and actually probably come on board as well in terms of supporting.
Yes.
In terms of the quality, have we seen great quality of play here?
We've identified quite a few players that I think would already make the national team. Obviously, a national team to establish will take quite a bit of time, and it will take trials and so on, fitness trials. But I do think that the end goal, to have a national team that's powerful enough to be able to already qualify for the World Cup in our first qualification round, it would be fantastic. The quality is great.
Okay.
The talent is there, and we need to just hone it in and to channel it, and I think we'll do great.
All right. Have you ever thought of inviting foreign scouts to come through and probably just see some of these players?
I don't think we're at the point right now to invite international scouts. I think once we grow the league to about 1,000 players, then there will be a lot to choose from. And at this point, looking at the development side, we are planning an academy from grassroots. We are planning to be at the coast, in the north, at the south. So let's hope all goes well.
Thank you so much, Andre. Welcome to the show. Sport Rep is here. That is at the futsal tournament here, and I'm joined here by a football player that is from the Vault futsal team. Can you just tell us your name and what you make of this tournament or the league in general?
Okay, so basically my name is David, and yes, I am a player for Wolves. Basically this tournament is actually very exciting, especially towards the end. I mean, it's nice to see a lot of people here to come support their teams. But mind you not, it's a very small field, but it's very demanding, let me say. It's very demanding.
I saw you were in action there, and disappointingly you guys could not beat the Valfus team. But what did you make of that game?
Well, I can say Valfus is a very good team. You can see that these guys have been together ever since, I don't know, ever since I was little, I guess. But yeah, it's, as I said, it's demanding, up and down running. Later on you start feeling cramps here and there, so you need to really push hard through this.
All right, are you looking forward to competing internationally one day as a player?
Oh yes, as a player, most definitely. As a player, that's a second choice, but I want to actually coach because I'm actually
Yeah, I understand you are coach of the under-17s.
Yes, I am basically, yes.
All right, and you guys won the league.
Yeah, we won the league 3 times now in a row, so I'll put my CV for the international coach.
For the international coach rather than the player.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
No problem.
Hey, come on, man!
Beautiful game of football, futsal it is. The weekend drop is up next after the break. FNB Western Suburbs on Saturday afternoon surprised FNB Kudus with 6 tries at 4 at the Hage Geingob Stadium in Windhoek to clinch victory with 36-26, handing Kudus their first defeat of the 2022 NRU Premier League season. The Commersdale team unexpectedly raced to a 19-0 lead by halftime. Kudus scored 26 points, 4 tries in the second half, but Suburbs added 17 to their tally. Both teams got the bonus point for scoring at least 4 tries. Suburbs narrowly missed out on their 7th try, which would have earned them a deserved second bonus point for their efforts on the day. In the Reserve League, Kudus 2 beat Western Suburbs 2 by 57-7. Log on to www.fnbrugby.my.na for results, news and log standings. You can now sit back and enjoy some of the highlights of the weekend and interviews proudly brought to you by Sport Rep and the Namibia Media Holdings and TV film crew. Enjoy.
Julle het vandag die eerste game van die seisoen verloor. Kudus hier teen FNB Western by die Hage Geingob Stadium in Windhoek. Dit was nie hele dag op die pitch gewees nie. It's not your day on the pitch, I'm speaking Afrikaans now.
No, it wasn't at all. We played Western Suburbs today. We started off very slow. Second half we brought it back really strong. Time was just not on our side at the end of the day. I guess Monday we're just going to go back to the drawing board. We're going to start all over. Second round starts next week and then we're going to take it off again.
It looks like you guys found like an overdrive here in the second half at some stage, basically on the end of the game. Was there any, what happened?
We basically tried to turn it around. We went behind the post and we spoke to each other. I was like, we really need to turn this around. Obviously, but we want to be champions. We want to play like champions. So obviously that's the message that came through. You saw Kudus in the second half. So we want to work hard. Like I said, back to the drawing board. We want to start again next week.
But Kudus is still, you still in the first place on the lock of this game. I suppose depending what's going to happen between United and Wanderers on the other side, on the derby.
Yes, definitely. We try to stay humble. Definitely always stay humble. But listen to our coaches. And we just try and do our best at all times.
Okay, next weekend? Are you playing?
Starting over again. So we're going Rehoboth away.
In Rehoboth?
Yes.
It'll be another tough one.
Yeah.
Okay, good luck and thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. FNB Suburbs enjoying the victory over FNB Kudus from Walvis Bay here at the Hage Geingob Stadium in Windhoek.
Moet ons number 1 sing net. It's not what we do, it's the way that we do it. It's not what we do, it's the way that we do it. That makes us number 1.
Gino Wilson, captain of FNB Western Suburbs, I almost said Southern Suburbs, pardon me. Gino, what happened today with this victory of your guys?
This was a hard-fought victory. All I can say is both teams came out to play their all. We knew as Suburbs that Kudus were the best team in the league so far in terms of performance, in terms of form. So we were on our back foot. So they were the best team. So we had to give it our all. We had a rough season, so we knew that this is gonna be the stepping stone, the beginning of good things. So if we were to beat Kudus, it's really gonna put us on a high, and obviously put them back down on the low. So, but both teams came out hard, and it was a good match.
Gino, from my perspective, a couple of opportunistic tries that materialize from loose balls and so on, but that's luck, and the harder you practice, the easier the luck?
I think both teams basically capitalized on loose play, on the other team making mistakes, so they capitalized. It's just about composure, right time, right moment. We scored a couple of tries off them, and they scored a couple of tries off. So it's just being composed in the right areas.
Yeah. Do you know next weekend?
We're playing FNB Unam, our biggest derby rivals.
Is that on Suburbs Park?
Yeah, on Suburbs Park, but you're probably going to play here.
Because of the veld, I understand it's not well. It's a bit
it's coming.
dead or what? Do you know? You guys going to take a lot of oomph, punch, not punch, oomph from this game.
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to materialize. Psychologically, my tongue is not in here. So I guess next weekend you name us in for a thing.
That's going to be a big game. For sure, that's going to be a big game. The crowd's going to be on it. So, I mean, that's our derby. It's going to be a derby. But also, it's going to be a rival. That's our biggest rivals in the league. So, that's going to be a big game. And also, we're going to play for the Cancer Association. So, it's going to be a whole cancer theme, a lot of pink. So, just to support the Cancer Association.
Gino, thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Enjoy the victory.
Will do.
Let's have a look at the highlights from Derby Day. Wanderers Trustco United starting off with the reserve teams. Interesting game, interesting day. Very cold, very chilly. Maintained pretty much the same temperatures throughout. Some people may say it was freezing cold. The rugby players will definitely say it was a hot day. But definitely a good day for Rugby Trustco United taking on Wanderers. These are the reserve teams. And this was our first try. Starting off with the fullback, beautiful chip over there. He got a hold of it again. And it was an immediate penalty. And he was the man to take it over the post. Managing to do just that. 3 points on the board there for United. Wanderers with the line out, known for their very potent rolling mauls. And another effective rolling maul coming through from Wanderers over there, turning into a try. Bernardes boot, faithful last week. Ever so faithful. It was a kicking game for some time. United here with an opportunity to try and keep themselves in the game. It was a good kick. Straight through the post. As the two teams battled it out, it was very tight at the beginning. Walters there with the put in. Very, very potent player. And here Wanderers was swinging the ball very beautifully. Identifying the gap there, Angerbrecht, well, not the gap, rather identifying the overlap. But that was not an allowed try. It was a penalty. And this led to the first sin bin. Terrible sportsmanship at that point in time. Composure is always needed. United running a beautiful game over here, identifying the overlap. Swinging it. And this was another beautiful play. This was a little bit of netball in the middle of the field there, but ultimately the ball coming out with United in this emphatic run. He was not going to be caught. It was try time, and there was absolutely no stopping United's reserve team at that point in time. It was Wanderers' turn to show what they can do when they approach the line. And boy, oh boy, was it gorgeous. Behind the back pass, swing it out, cut back in, and go back. This time, no one says no to the try. Halftime score, 13-12. United with the lead. 1 point lead, so not the kind of lead that you can get comfortable with. Looking at the second half, Walters, ever so ready for the task of scrum half with the put in at this time. Wanderers trying to show their strengths and their pace, and this right here was an incredible run by the wing. Not to be stopped, and Bernarde said, "You put the post in front of me, I will convert." Wanderers kept taking the game to United, and that ever so deadly rolling maul paying off for the second time in this game. Good challenge from both teams. Of course, United being the home team, hoping for a better game at this point. Wanderers was not giving any easy ground. Bernarde at that point in time, drop goal. Gorgeous to look at. United doing their best to stay in the game, to remind the people who the home team is. Cutting in at this time, it was a high-scoring match, and this resulted in a beautiful try full of pace. The side steps, throwing off the Wanderers' backline a little bit over there. Quick kick, quick conversion. And this was a run by United as they edged towards the Wanderers' line. This time scoring. Unfortunately, the try scorer there injuring his right shoulder. But he had had a beautiful game. Some confusion here by United. And the problem with confusion is that if your opponent notices, they will take advantage. And this was perhaps one of the easier Wanderers tries. They just had to capitalize on United's mistakes. Hard-fought game from both ends. Wanderers just being very proficient at this point in time. They were just running up the scoreboard. And that was a beautiful play. Cutting into the back line, identifying the gap. And Bernarde stepping up to convert with ease. And that was the full-time score. FNB Wanderers 42, Trustco United 27, full-time reserve teams. Derby Day, Wanderers, Trustco United, and this was the pinnacle of the entire Derby Day. The first teams, Trustco United obviously being the home team and Wanderers being the visiting team. Wanderers coming off the back of 2 losses. Trustco United not needing to care about that because home is home and the bragging rights are absolutely real. In 2 of Windhoek's most historic rugby teams, they are used to this clash. But no one ever gets used to the atmosphere. It's different every single time. United here with an opportunity to put the first 3 points on the board. And it was good. Wonderful kick there. That would be Blow, if I'm not mistaken. His boot was fairly faithful, particularly in the first half of this game, scoring 6 points for United as they let the Wanderers know exactly where they were playing. Wanderers with some good forward motion, swinging the ball. And this was a beautiful little chip, good timing, good placement, good try. Yes, Kutsia. He would prove to be very potent throughout this entire game. This was an interesting run here by Wanderers. He taps the ball, doesn't quite get where he wants to go. Karombe with a good run over there. Oh, that rolling maul. Would you look at that? Ilonga with the ball, nursing it. And then, sorry, that's Thomas Curry. Thomas Kali, number 7 over there, going over. Similar frame to Ilonga, but not to be confused. Ilonga did have the headband around his head. Good line out. Good try. Very quick and fast try by United as they kept the lead. Nice and healthy at Derby Day. The kicker's boot, faithful thus far. Yes, that's Mr. Aris there. Chris Aris. He had some good kicks on the end of his boot. And halftime, Trusco United 21, FNB Wanderers 5. Ooh, it was quite the competition, especially when you get to look at this interesting second half. Wanderers just outside the 5-meter line there, if not quite literally on it, swinging the ball and ultimately finding the gap with the winger Kutsia, making sure that it goes over the line. Wanderers came into the second half with a lot more confidence, so to speak, and it paid off with runs like this and a try like that. Rian Foster. Now, Denzel Brewer had a bit of a difficult game with regards to his kicking. It could have gone much better. However, this time, his boot was faithful at this point in time. Yes, Chris Harris once again tasked with the kicking for United. And this time, like the previous two times, converting. It was an interesting game throughout, of course. It's Derby Day. Chris Harris with another kick. His boot was truly faithful, but was it faithful until the very end? Well, this is why you're watching the highlights. Get to know what happened. Denzel Brewer right here with an opportunity to kick it over. One of the few times his boot did what needed to be done. And this was full time. 1 point. FNB Wanderers beating Trusco United. Unfortunately, Chris Ari is not managing to convert for United right at the end. And that's what it is on Derby Day, 28-27.
Wonderful, wonderful rugby action, courtesy that is of NTV. Great camera work there. At 41, Helalia Johannes continues to prove that age is just a number after another top performance at the Spar 10-kilometer marathon in Durban, which saw her finishing second overall in a race filled with young and energetic athletes. Namibia's queen of marathon, Helalia Johannes, finished first in category 138 and second overall at the Durban Spar women's 10-kilometer marathon in a time of 0:31 minutes and 59 seconds. Yesterday, Ethiopian superstar Tadunare, who clocked 31 minutes and 50 seconds, was the overall winner during the race that Johannes was keen on winning. Nare's compatriot Selim Jibre completed the race in third spot, clocking 32 minutes and 17 seconds in challenging weather conditions of Durban. The on-track rivalry between Nare and Johannes has become more interesting after Johannes won the opening race last month in Gibberta. Trusco United opening batsman Henry Hayes and captain Lohan Lawrence each blasted a century as the host team convincingly won the T20 cricket match against Samsung FNB Wanderers as part of the club's annual derby. United stormed to a huge total of 236 over 2, almost of which was scored by Hayes 110 runs of 67 balls with 7 sixes and 11 fours, and Lawrence 103 of 47 balls 10 times 6, 5 times 4. Lawrence was eventually dismissed when he was caught by Tommy van der Merwe of the bowling of Carl Brickenstock, while Hayes was bowled off the final ball of the innings by Nicholas Schultz, the Wanderers captain. Italy beat Namibia's 11 43-21. The Italians scored 7 tries to 3, with their forward pack finishing a number of line-out drives for 5-pointers. Namibia coach Alistair Coetzee was set to name his 28-man squad over the weekend that will consist of Rugby Africa and World Cup qualifying tournament in France from 1 to 10 July. We will show you that list after the 2 interviews. Enjoy.
Alistair, just it was strong challenge, strong intensity, but needed.
Yeah, much needed hit out for us. The Italy A side has got a lot of experience. Quality side, they've got franchise players in it, which is good for us. The scoreboard is not important for us. It's just a way when we had opportunities we could capitalize on it and score the tries. But in all, they were a bit powerful up front, and maybe that's a couple of lessons that we've learned there. So I'm really happy with the preparation.
Now the focus shift to 1 July?
Absolutely. Burkina Faso, that's a big challenge. I'm just a bit nervous about the injury situation. I think Max Kachicheko has got a hand that is, I don't know the extent of the injury, so that is one concern. But hopefully all is good and we can select our best 28 players.
Janko, dit was jy ken Europese rugby. Dis waarskynlik wat julle nodig gehad het voor volgende week.
Ja, nee, ek dink dit is belangrik om teen beter oppositie op te gaan, om te sien waar ons staan en waar ons wil gaan. Ek dink dit was lekker geweest om teen professionele spelers te wees. Ouens wat jou regtig gaan toets, ouens wat actually die game ken en hulle het ons getoets. Die windjie het ons 'n bietjie onder druk gesit die eerste helfte, maar ek is bly hoe ons dit gehandle het en hoe ons bly fight het en ja.
En het hulle areas uitgelig wat mense in 'n week nog 'n bietjie aandag gaan gee voor die eerste?
Nee, daar is 'n paar areas waar ons moet werk. En omdat soos teen 'n professionele span soos hulle opkom, veral by die vaste fasette soos die mauls en die scrums, het hulle nou vir ons presies gewys waar ons moet gaan werk en dis goedjies wat ons kan regmaak in 'n week en dit maak my opgewonde want in die general play goed die los spel, die ons het mooi gefight en dit soos net daar by die vaste fasette wat ons moet fight.
Ja, en die hele tyd in Stellenbosch was goed geweest julle.
Ja, dit was. Ek dink veral met Stellenbosch Academy Sports, daai fasiliteite en ons coaches wat ingekom het en van ver af getravel het en ek dink dit was belangrik geweest dat ons as 'n span bymekaar kom en die oefengame speel wat ons gespeel het. En soos jy kan sien, ons word beter game na game en hierdie was 'n lekker stepping stone om in die toernooi in te gaan.
And now Alistair Coetzee has named that squad that will contest for the Rugby Africa Cup and World Cup qualification tournament that is in France from 1 to 10 July. As you can see the names there on the board, that is some of the players that will compete. Can you just put up the names so they can see that is it? As you can see there, Seti, Torsten van Nemere, Arnas Coetzee, Johan Retief, Wayne Conradi. You can see a very strong squad that has been named there by Coetzee, who wants probably for the country to qualify that's to the World Cup. So it is poised to be a very, very important assignment that is for Coetzee and his charges who aim to qualify to the world's biggest rugby showpiece. Good luck to the boys. Brian Munango is up next with Spotify. Stay tuned.
You know, a few weeks ago, I would never do this on a Saturday morning. Back then, I was standing in line all day. Now it's just like that.
You are using the FNB banking app like I told you.
Girl, it saved my weekend. Now I can do all my banking on this.
Payments, transfers, checking statements.
Even opening accounts.
Just like that.
Oh, did I tell you what my husband did?
Even me, I want to save time with what's the name of the app?
FNB app.
Don't be left behind. Make the switch to the FNB app, online banking or cell phone banking and change the way you bank to change your life. FNB, how can we help you?
Thank you very much, Jesse, and good day, viewers. My name is Brian Monango, and here on Spotify is where we focus on what the youth are busy with in sports. Let's take a look at what the youth were busy with this weekend. The Grand Como Week in Kimberley, match day 1 that took off this weekend. Namibia under-16 team beat Border Country District under-16 by 12-0. Janko van Tonna, who is a hooker, scored 2 tries off the line-out drives. Valder Kotter, who plays fly half, succeeded with 1 conversion. And the Player of the Match award went to the Namibian center Janu Erasmus. Staying on rugby, in Krugersdorp, the Namibia under-13 team also played their first match at the under-13 Craven Week today. The game is set to take place at 4 this afternoon. The under-13 team, sponsored by Sanlam, also lost one of the games by 24-0 against the Leopards. Well, according to the Namibian team's head coach Brian Titus, the Namibian team created some opportunities for points which were not converted. He said the Namibians performed well in the scrums, but they lost a number of lineouts, and it also need work they also need to work hard on their defense. And also, for the first time, Namibia also sent an under-13 B team to the Craven Week, and the B team are set to have a game this afternoon that has just kicked off. As we move on, the first ever Prosperity Health Urban Cross race took place this weekend at the Windhoek Showgrounds, where cyclists and runners partook in the series of races. They also announced the team that will represent the country at the Commonwealth Games this year. Stay tuned for that video.
So we had the Prosperity Health Urban Cross race today. What a success it was. We started off with a walk, a run, then a duathlon, and then we finished up with a mountain bike race. We had kids as young as 5 years old participating. We had elderly people as old as 65, 70 competing. It was a good day. It was a massive success. Everybody enjoyed it. We want to thank our sponsors, Prosperity Health, for making this possible. Dio Pharma, Electro Boost. We want to thank Money's Bike Mecca. We want to thank Cosmos Radio. And we want to thank the Vintage Show Society for making this possible. Then we had the honor of announcing the Commonwealth Triathlon team tonight. This is the team that will be representing Namibia at the upcoming Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. We announced a team of 6 athletes. We've got Divan de Plooi that will be racing individually, Andre Kriegel that will be racing individually, as well as Imke Jager. And then for the first time ever, this is history, we will be sending a mixed relay team, which will consist of Drickus Kutsia, JP Berger, Imke Jager and Andre Kriegel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, it's a really strong team that's being sent out to the Commonwealth Games. And that's it from Spotify. And we look forward to bringing you an update on Thursday of all the sporting events that will be taking place during the weekend. With that, we move over to international news with Ari Ohad. Stay tuned.
Good day to everyone. Time for international sports news, and starting off with rugby news. It is international rugby season, and that's starting now this weekend. It is New Zealand that will host Ireland, it is Australia that hosts England, and South Africa host Wales. But let's start off with news from New Zealand. It is a big challenge for New Zealand rugby at the moment, with their coach Ian Foster tested positive for COVID-19. But so too also his two assistant coaches also tested positive. That is John Plumtree and Scott McLeod. All three of them won't be involved in the first test coming the 2nd of July, this coming Saturday. Also, two players tested positive in the New Zealand camp. That is David Havili and also Jack Goodhue. And in the Ireland team, there's also one player, that is winger Mac Hansen, that is isolated at the moment because of COVID-19. New Zealand rugby asked the former Ireland coach, that is Joe Schmidt, to assist New Zealand this week with the coaching. He was going to be on the coaching staff of New Zealand anyway after the season, and he coached Ireland actually from 2013 to 2019, but now he's going to coach for New Zealand against Ireland. Now on to some MotoGP news, and it is on the point system Fabio Quartararo that is still leading, but it is the second place Alexei Espargaro that got a lot closer to Quartararo after the Netherlands Grand Prix of the weekend. That was because Quartararo didn't finish. He fell off his motorbike, and it was Alex Espargaro that finished 4th in the Netherlands Grand Prix, and he earned 13 points. So he's got 151 points at the moment, but still leading Fabio Quartararo on his Yamaha on 172 points. Third on the overall points table at the moment is Johan Zarco. He's from France, and he's in Aprilia that he's racing. He's got 114 points. Fabio Quartararo is racing in a Yamaha, like I said. He is from France. What happened in the Netherlands Grand Prix on the weekend was that Francesco Bagnaia, he's from Italy, he won in his Ducati, and another Ducati driver or racer, Marco Bessetti of Italy, was in 2nd place. South African Brad Binder still having a great season. He finished 5th in the Netherlands Grand Prix, and that means that he is still in a good position on the overall point system. He's got 93 points, and that's putting him number 6 on the overall standings at the moment. Now we continue with athletics news, and there's a new world record in the 400-meter hurdles for women, and that is Sydney McLaughlin that broke her own world record. That was at the US Championships in Oregon. She bettered the time to 51.41 seconds, and it was 0.05 of a second faster than the time she set at the Olympic Games in Tokyo last year. That time was 51.46. And so a new record for Sydney McLaughlin, 22-year-old American athlete. Also, some athletics news is that the South African Caster Semenya, she slammed African athletics officials. That was in an interview with the BBC. She said that African administrators are cowards for not standing up for female athletes, and that is related to eligibility issues. She's also one of the athletes that have high testosterone levels and require medication to compete in events from between 400 meters and 1,500 meters. So the BBC did ask the Confederation of African Athletics president, that is Mr. Malboom Kalkaba, what his thoughts are about the statement from Caster Semenya, and he said that, sorry, I do not have an answer. So that was his reply, unfortunately. Let's close off today's international sports news with some tennis news, and a great 2 weeks lying ahead for Wimbledon, for tennis lovers. It is Wimbledon 2022. That is one of the 4 majors that's started, and news from the players that will be in action on Tuesday is that Rafael Nadal, he's the number 2 seed. He will open his campaign against Francesco Curandolo. He is from Argentina. That will be in the first round for Nadal. He's the defending French Open champion. First round on Tuesday. So also playing on Tuesday is Serena Williams, back in action again after being out for 12 months, and she's playing against Harmony Tan of France in the first round. Number 1 seed in the women's division is Iga Swiatek, with Anett Kontaveit of Estonia, the 2nd seed. Number 1 seed in the men's division is Novak Djokovic. That's the sports news, international sports news for now. Hope you have a great sporting day. We'll talk again tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thank you, Ari and Brian Monango. And that is all we had for you today. Catch us again live tomorrow as Sport Rep brings you the latest sport profiles of some of the forgotten legends on Golden Oldies. Goodbye.